Here's a wild fact. 50% of your sales will come after 5 or more follow-ups, but most of you are giving up way too soon on your most highest valued prospects. Seriously, it blows my mind. After being in business for 34 years and having 14 years now running an agency helping companies generate well over 9 figures in revenue, what we have learned is all it takes to bring back a cold, ghosted, or lost prospect is a super simple, personal email. And that's what I'm going to share with you in this video. Most businesses never try this because they overcomplicate what they think this approach requires, and they leave so much money on the table. So if you want to see how to get this lost, cold, or ghosted prospect back in your pipeline and convert more sales, stick around. Here's where the opportunity is in Q3, and I want you all to think about this for your own business. This is where still most people are misunderstanding the actual conversion process, and that is we forget that follow-up happens. This is not my numbers. This is the people that are at Wharton Business School. These are the people that are at Harvard Business Review. These are the people that are at Boston Consulting Group. They keep saying over and over again that at a minimum 5 touches is where 50% of your sales will come from. Minimum. That's not only. That's minimum, okay? So where do we need some simple automation so that we don't have to do all of those touches ourselves? And this will be my challenge for everyone, is to think about your business. Do you have, if someone comes in your world and they don't interact with you today, are you taking them through a welcome to my world sequence? We call it a welcome sequence. This, by the way, is a sales sequence, not a trust building campaign. Those are different. Are we taking them down a path that says, welcome to my world? I'm gonna show you an example in just a moment. Welcome to my world. Here's how we help customers just like you. Would you like our help? That's a welcome sequence. A nurture campaign comes after a welcome sequence. The welcome sequence could be also changed to say a sales sequence if we really want to think about it. But they just showed up in your world. But do we have at least 5 touches that will get them to actually act if they're in buying mode? Okay. Next, we got to go into this long-term nurture sequence, right? When I talk about this gentleman who reached out to me 3 days ago, who's been in my world for 5 years, maybe even longer, the reason he knows about us is because he's been on this long-term nurture campaign. And by the way, the nurture campaign goes until it never ends, all right? When you lose track with a prospect and find out they bought from someone else, that's our fault. When we lose a prospect, it's our fault. Now, if we didn't have the right price or whatever, there could be other dynamics. But when we find out, we run into somebody and we're like, yeah, I started doing this campaign with so-and-so. I'm like, well, that's what I do. Like, I know we've all been through that. And then there's the reactivation campaign. If you stay in business long enough, and many of you have been, you will recognize that you've lost touch with people who were going to buy, thinking about buying, and you've just not reached out to them in a long time. This campaign is one of the first campaigns we run with companies when they have a past client database. I'm talking to a company right now, or we've been in conversation, we'll see where it goes. And they've got 5,000 customers, 5,000 approximate customers, and they are not doing reactivation campaigns. Reactivation simply means going back to almost move number 4 and then move number 5, they're not talking to them. And the problem is when they were, or when they do, what I've seen is they keep asking them about buying more of their stuff. And that's not exactly what a reactivation campaign is, right? A reactivation campaign is taking a prospect who raised their hand, who didn't move forward for whatever reason. Most of the time it's budget, authority, need, or timing, and you can't control any one of those. You can't control any one of them except them believing you're the authority they should work with when they're ready. And people are letting leads just sit in the pipeline and disappear without trying to reactivate them. A reactivation campaign can be as simple as a 1-line email. I think I've taught it to you in the inner circle. If not, I've definitely talked about it on several podcasts. And I learned it from one of my mentors, Dean Jackson, 2003. I keep saying, I don't want to say 2003. And the sentence is really simple. It's one of the basic reactivation campaigns, not the only, but it's simply an email that, let's say I'm sending it to Alex, right? Alex is in the room. I'm sending it to Alex. Let's say Alex was a prospect for my company 5 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 2 years ago, whatever. But we lost touch. I just simply put Alex in the subject line. Alex in the subject line is his first name. Something about the human brain has a hard time not opening the email when just your first name is in there. Not hi, Alex, open this offer in the subject line. No, it's Alex. That's it. Then in the subject or in the body, it just simply says, are you still interested in the problem they wanted to solve back when you were engaged in a conversation, whether it was a year, 2, 5 years ago? One simple sentence. Are you still interested in? Fill in the blank of the problem that they were looking to solve. And then sign it with your first name, not your first and last name, with your company name, CEO, founder, website, here's our social media. No, you're sending it like a very personal text message that would have come off your phone. And it would have been like, Alex, are you still interested in growing your business with Facebook ads? That would be an example of what I could have sent out. Are you still interested in automating your CRM so you never have to send an email again? Right? Those are types of examples from my business. So this is sort of move number 5. So the move that I have for you to think about is, if someone comes in your world today from any one of the sources we had talked about, ads or whatever the case is, how long will they hear from you before they forget about you? How long will they hear from you before they forget about you? Here's an example in my world. We've got way more emails than this, but here's an example of the first 7 days of one of our campaigns, where if they opt in, this is 7 days, 1 email a day that they will hear from us. And people say, well, you can't be emailing people every day. People are going to call it spam. People are going to unsubscribe. No. Column 1 is how many delivered in this campaign. Column 2 is how many opened. Column 3 is the open rate. Column 4 is the number of clicks. Column 5 is the click-through rate. But after someone comes in our world, they're immediately, if they come in through this particular asset resource, they're going to get 7 emails. And they're not, if I was being a jackass, they wouldn't be opening the emails and clicking, right? And that's not the purpose of it. A sales campaign doesn't have to be obnoxious. It doesn't have to get on your people's nerves. But most of your people, if the person's ready to buy and you don't walk them through the process of understanding how it is to work with you and how you can solve the problem, the thing about our business is there are 6 major areas that we solve problems for in our clients' lives. I don't know which one it is that they showed up for. So we break down all of the first 6. Okay, that's an example. That's something you guys want to think about. And we can help talk about that. We've got the training inside of the Inner Circle for that. Okay. Again, these are just pieces of our big framework of what we do in the agency. That's what I want to teach you. I want to make sure if you're not running them, you get those live. We are actually, and by the way, it doesn't mean only run those, but we want to talk about how you can get those running, because this quarter is already off and running. If you don't have the framework, feel free to download it. Hey, thanks for spending some time with us today. I hope it won't be your last time here. We should have a video popping up that might be helpful for you to watch next. And please know that the comment section is always open so we can answer your frequently asked questions. Be sure to pop those down below, and I'll see you next time. Take care.